The Colm and Lucy podcast with Colm Hayes and Lucy Kennedy.
From Nova.ie and Radio Nova.
Everybody is talking about the John Lewis ad. Every year everyone talks about the John Lewis ad, but it has taken a slightly different direction this year because it features Elton John. Well, it used to feature sort of puppets or inanimate objects or, you know, wasn't it a dog jumping on a trampoline, stuff like that. But this year it's gone for Elton John, and it goes all the way back. Everyone has seen it already, but millions and millions of people have watched it. Actually, I'm just looking on YouTube. 9 million people have now watched it. 9 million people have watched the John Lewis ad. If you watch it and you go to 1 minute 25 seconds into it, you'll see a girl dancing, and it's when Elton John was sort of like 16 or 17 years of age, and that girl is Molly Ward, and she's Irish. Come on, Ireland. She's Irish. Molly Ward, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. So, there you are. You are now in, I mean, it's weird, isn't it? Because you're an actress and you're down the Everyman Theatre at the moment, and I know you're in rehearsals for the Panto, which we'll mention in a few minutes' time. But now you're in possibly the biggest commercial on the planet at the moment.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. And I can't believe the reaction. Like, I'm only in the smallest clip, but you know, everyone's so supportive and everyone wants to chat about it.
It really is
a great experience.
It's this Irish thing. We're so full of pride for the Irish that no matter where, any occasion, any moment, anything, when we see somebody sort of raising up the flag, we go, they're Irish. Let's celebrate this moment. How did you get the part, Molly?
So it was basically an audition. My agent sent me for, and we didn't know what it was for. It was called Project X. They kept it really quiet, obviously, because of how big it is. I think they wanted it. They didn't want anyone to know the theme or anything. And went in. I was probably in the room for about 15 minutes in front of a camera, a casting director. Had to improv some 60s style dancing and some acting, just all improv. And I had like a partner, and that was it. And about a week or so later, I got a call to say I got the job.
Wow.
Still didn't know what the job was.
Yeah.
Had the costume fitting, still kept it under wraps. And then the following day I was filming, and that's when I found out it was for the John Lewis Christmas ad. So
did they film the entire ad in one day, do you know, or was it just your bit?
Yeah, it was just our bit. So basically they did it over 7 days, I think.
Yeah.
And I was only involved in one day. And that's when they did we were in the pub scene. And it was set in the 1960s. And it was the young Elton John, about 17 years of age. And it was a young Scottish guy, and he was amazing pianist and great musician. And he was playing Great Balls of Fire while we danced around the piano and, you know, enjoyed ourselves after what they said, like after a long week's work.
Right. This was your motivation.
Yeah, exactly. But they didn't tell us much else. They didn't specify it was Elton John. They didn't give us much information because I'm sure we had to sign confidentiality waivers.
Wow.
And they put stickers over our cameras on our phones and stuff.
So you couldn't take any photos of anything? Wow.
No, nothing. Because, it was very secretive. Yes, exactly.
So when do you actually find out? When do you find out that Project X was the John Lewis ad? Who tells you? Do they sit you down in a room going, "Hey, kid, we got some news to break to you. I don't know how you're going to take this."
No, it was actually when I got the contract through. So it was actually the morning of the filming.
Right.
My agent sent me the contract, and on the top it said John Lewis Christmas advert, and that's the first time I found out. So it was crazy. And then we were all looking at each other. The people filming that day were like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!"
So I'm looking at the ad now on YouTube, which has had 9.4 million hits. How many of those 9 millions are you actually hitting YouTube to have a look at yourself?
You know what? I actually haven't had much time to watch it myself because I've been in rehearsals all the time. But I'd say definitely a good 5 million have been my mum alone.
Because you're from Mallow down in County Cork. Yeah, you're living in. Are you working and living in London?
I am. Yes, I've been in London 5 years. I went straight after school and I studied musical theatre over there.
I suppose the one thing that people will say, do we know you from anything else? Because you're in the John Lewis ad,
Yeah. Probably not. I've done other small bits and pieces. I've been on the cover of a PlayStation game and stuff like that, but nothing as high profile. Definitely.
Sorry, you've been on the cover of a PlayStation game. Which game?
Yeah, it's called We Sing.
So
it was with Nordic Games. So I'm on the cover of that on the
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a few years ago. But
the new role you're in now, where you're playing, where you're in the John Lewis ad, have you been? Have people recognised you on the street?
Not on the street, no, God, no. But I've gotten messages from people just saying, "Is that you in the ad?" And I can't believe it. Like how they recognise me, it's gas.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
So nice.
Because, in fairness, maybe 3. Are you there 3 seconds in the ad? 3 or 4 seconds, maybe?
Yeah, I would say no more than that.
Yeah.
So it's great that people are actually... It does zoom in on me, so it's amazing. There's some people in that scene that, you don't see at all. So
I know.
It's great that I actually did get some airtime.
No, it's brilliant.
And it's lovely to be at home for all the hype, you know what I mean? It's nice to be in Cork while this is all happening.
Who can say they're on a YouTube video that now has 9.4 million? It's actually
Exactly.
as I'm talking, it's clicking up. So it's doing.
Really?
Now tell me Molly, because at the moment you're down in the Everyman Theatre in Cork. What's going on down there?
So we're doing a production of Cinderella pantomime with the Everyman and Cada, and we're in week 3 now. We just started week 3 of rehearsals. So everything is going really well. Yeah. Everything's shaping up nicely. So, we're running from the 1st of December to the 14th of January, I think.
What do you play in? Are you Cinderella?
No, I'm not. I'm ensemble dancer.
Okay.
So,
outside the front of the Everyman, does it say featuring Molly from the John Lewis ad?
No, but I might ask them to add that in.
Because it's going to happen. You'll be there. Surely somebody's going to write in a gag about the John Lewis ad now. Do you know that they always have these topical gags in pantomime?
Yeah, of course.
Somebody's got to do.
Of course, maybe.
Listen, Molly, lovely talking to you. Continued success as well. And great to see you there in the ad, all right? And
thank you very much.
Continued success in the Everyman Theatre as well. Molly Ward, who's now got 9.3 million hits on YouTube. Have a great Christmas. Take care.
Thank you, bye.
See you now, bye-bye. There you go. If you go 1 minute 23, the girl dancing with a sort of reddish hair, that is our very own Molly Ward.
It's the best of the Colm and Lucy Breakfast Show on Radio Nova.
How's it going, Colin? Hiya.
Hey, how are you today? Well, you're very loud. You're very excited. How are you?
I'm very excited, yeah.
Okay. So you have a Christmas party happening on the 14th, yeah?
Yeah, we're doing a board game party on the afternoon of the 14th.
Wow, a board game party. That sounds like I can barely contain myself. So why are you having a board game party?
Well, we have a few colleagues over visiting our offices, and they'll be going home to America, and we'll be going out to Thursday night for a few responsibles, and then we're going to, send them off nicely then.
Okay, so whereabouts is this board game party going to take place? Is it in the office?
It will be in our offices, yes.
Okay.
And we'll have beer and pizza.
Beer and pizza. Now I'm very interested. And Emma, whereabouts is your office?
On Pembroke Street.
Pembroke Street. Okay, that's handy enough. That's within the city centre. So, what time do you intend kicking off this board game party?
Anytime after lunch, whatever.
Great. So, are you all going to be incredibly hungover?
We might be in a bit of a sensitive state, yes.
Brilliant. I like that. Oh, what business are you in?
We're in the IT industry. We're speed testing, internet speed testing.
Wow. Okay, so we're going out with the IT crowd.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, how many people are going to be at the party?
There will be 15.
15. I like that. And really, has there been a decision made yet on the board games?
Well, I know there will be beer pong.
Beer pong is good, yeah.
Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, I love Cards Against Humanity. That is absolutely the best. But a few beers will have to be taken on board. But I love that. Yeah, go on.
An attempt at playing Pictionary.
Pictionary's a bit of fun. I'm liking this. Pictionary, okay. Twister as the day goes on. Yeah. How long is this going to take place? So it starts at 4:00. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games there. How long is this? How long is your board game party going to take place?
Well, the last time we played it lasted till about 8:00, and we started at 3:30.
Wow. Okay, so this is an annual thing. This board game party, yeah.
Well, I'm only in the company 6 months, so it's since I've started.
All right, okay, so let me just check now with our producer Clint, because he has the database to show exactly how our parties are. Clint, what do you reckon?
I think we could make it to Pembroke by 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, Emma, can you take the Colm and Lucy breakfast show, the whole team, everyone who's going to arrive? Well, there won't be too many of us.
Only if I play Monopoly.
Monopoly's going to take too long.
Just a quick Monopoly, a quick fire.
Do you want quick Monopoly?
Yeah.
Okay, like one go Monopoly.
Yes.
Okay. So one go Monopoly, and rather than even connect
Lucy being to Twister,
rather than Connect 4, because we want to play it really fast, we could just play Connect 1. Over in seconds. Emma, you're booked in. Tell everybody we're going to be there. Okay. We're going out with the IT crowd. All right, okay. Talk to you later. Clint will be in touch.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
See you now. There's another one gone. There's another slot gone. If you want to it's the 14th of December. It's 12 parties. 12 parties in 12 hours, starting at midday. If you've got a party you want us to drop by, we will drop by. The whole team will drop by. You got to text us at 087 18 100 or call us right now at 440 4100.
It's the best of the Colm and Lucy breakfast show on Radio Nova.
the phone's ringing. I think you need to answer it.
Who is it? What's going on?
Just answer the phone, stop being so creepy.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning, Colm. I woke up this morning and I thought, I must get in touch. You've been running through my mind all night.
Oh my God. He's going to love that. Don't tell him dirty things.
Okay, Clint has just said just answer the phone, but what's going on?
I'm going to give you a clue who this is.
Dulcet tones.
In the 90s, I used to get up very early in the morning and I liked something big. Can you guess who it is yet?
Do I know you?
We've met in our dreams.
We've met
never in person.
In the 90s, sorry.
Don't worry, I won't judge you. I'm giving you clues here.
You were a judge.
Colm, it's Denise Van Out. What is
Oh, my
with
God!
you? How can you not tell?
Sorry, whoa, hang on a second. Oh, my God!
Okay, it kind of fancies you a little.
Denise, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, my darling. So I'm
sorry, I was completely knocked off stage there because I didn't know what was going on. And I've been asking Lucy for weeks.
I know you have. So I'm sat in the back of the car with Lucy and we're just heading to the Helix to record Ireland's Got Talent.
Wow.
So, and we were talking about you. She's saying what a great guy you are.
No, that's not true.
Wow, back off a second.
No.
Yes.
No.
Wow.
He's so handsome.
No.
Thank you.
Fall off your seat.
Thank
Lucy
you.
lying. Why is she lying this morning?
And I just thought I need to talk to him. I need this man in my life.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
How can I be in Ireland and not have Colm?
Denise, are you? Because I possibly did dream about you last night.
Did you dream about
Yes,
me?
I did.
Yeah,
well, it's
you
not.
did,
It's not just last night, Denise. It's been a number of nights over the last number of years since the whole Chicago poster. Okay. Yeah.
And then there's a restraining order.
And also all that amazing TV that you did in the morning. So how are you enjoying Ireland anyway? And when are we meeting? And when are you coming over to my house? Sorry, okay.
I draw the line at coming over to your house. No, I would love to meet you. It's all good. We've been recording the show. Lucy's doing a great job.
Don't talk to me about Lucy. Denise, come on. Just talk about yourself there. There you go.
And we've seen some really great talent. You know what? It's even better than last season.
Yeah.
So we're really excited.
Yes.
And you haven't asked her what she's wearing. This is a bonus. We've gone through the phone call.
Do you want to know what I'm wearing?
Yes, I do, Denise.
I'm in my Chicago outfit.
Oh, for God's sake.
And we're off air.
And how long are you over in Ireland for now?
Here for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
But then back over again, as we do, and then for the live shows, which are always very exciting. So you must come to the live shows.
Of course I will, Denise. It's already in my diary.
Is it?
It's going down. Yes, I'm taking a number of days off to prepare.
Oh, wow.
And then there'll be a number of days afterwards when I go into rehab. It'll all be good.
Back second crack.
Well, Denise, it's amazing talking to you. I've got to say, when I heard your voice at the very start there, because I was completely...
Did you think it was a man? Because it's the morning, my voice is quite deep.
No, I didn't, Denise. My God, don't say that about yourself. This could be the end of something that never started. No, because there was somebody years and years ago that used to write me really, really strange letters, right?
That was me.
Oh, brilliant. Now it's all coming together now. Well, thank you very much. But remember when you used to call yourself that other name? But anyway, it's nice that you're now Denise.
Do you know what? It's lovely to catch up with you, Colm, and I can't wait to meet you in person.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And on that, Denise, you enjoy yourself over here. Have an amazing time.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for ringing.
Bye.
Thank you. Take care, Colm.
See you now.
Long time.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay. Was that Denise? That was Denise.
Oh my God, they're so creepy.
It's the best of the Colm and Lucy Breakfast Show on Radio Nova.
I was reading a few bits and pieces in the papers, and this caught my eye because Kathleen Watkins, legendary wife of legendary Gay Byrne, was saying that she threw out her wedding ring by mistake.
In a fit of anger, in a fit of despair, in a fit of...
No, just by mistake. It was one of these things. She was in hospital, and they asked her to take her rings off, and she put them in a tissue. No. And the tissue was on the table. Yeah. And then she just threw it. She thought then a few minutes later the tissue was rubbish and she threw it away.
No.
And she hasn't found them since.
You hear, but that is very common with wedding rings, wedding bands, people, because a lot of people don't like sleeping with jewellery on, or they take them off if they're getting into a pool, or they're taking them off before they shower.
And they just lose them. And she had it
territory.
They got married in 1964, so that's a bit of a...
And it's usually the thing that's the most valuable on you. Let's be fair, most of us, well, you especially dress in really cheap clothing.
Thank you.
You wouldn't be into minding yourself. You don't pay very much for your glass.
Okay, enough now.
But you know what I mean? Wedding rings and wedding bands are hugely valuable.
Well, I was just thinking, because we do tend to throw out things, not just wedding rings, but we do tend to throw out things that we probably don't mean to, right? And there was a mate of mine years ago, and his wife, I won't name them because they got into, they actually nearly separated.
Why?
They nearly separated because they had two big bags of clothes, right? And they just moved into a new house, and they were cleaning everything out for the old house. And one big bag of clothes was the charity clothes, right? Was her charity clothes. And the other big bag of clothes was her going down the dry cleaning clothes, right?
Right.
And she said, there you go, just do that because it's all going crazy and people are coming around to that. So he threw them in, drove down. Yeah. He got the dry cleaning clothes and threw them into the charity bin, right? And then he got the charity bag and put it into the dry cleaning, and she went to collect it about 4 days later. And all the clothes, all those lovely clothes that don't fit her anymore, had all been beautifully dry cleaned.
I can't swear, but what a...
Yes, and everything that she loved... And
was chucked,
but not even chucked like in a charity shop. You could go back and go, really sorry. It was in one of the bins, the charity bin.
She couldn't retrieve it.
So she'd gone completely. It almost led to complete separation. There'd
be nothing worse than seeing Moira down the main street wearing your Armani suit.
Yes.
Do you imagine, Moira? That's my Armani suit. No, it's not. I got this in...
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Make you very bitter.
Would you want to rip it off her back?
I wouldn't stay with them. Did she stay with them?
Well, she did, and that's why I don't want to name them, because they're still together.
And are they a bit funky still?
No, I don't know. Yeah. But for years afterwards.
Some Egypt getting your charitable clothes dry cleaned is some Egypt.
For years it was an ongoing joke that they did not like when everyone else brought it up, because you could see you were touching a huge nerve.
Well, that's really stressful, especially if you're moving.
And for years she was, every time we'd go out, she was wearing ill-fitting clothes. She had to stick with the charity stuff that didn't fit. So
that's That's an addition. That's not part of the story. There's no way the woman didn't go off and purchase a few more items.
Not within the next couple of weeks. No, because they just moved house, and it was when we were all quite sort of young and just getting your first house, and there was no money floating around. Yeah, I know.
Oh my God.
Have you thrown anything out?
Oh, I was saying earlier, I used to be a devil for if you'd get money out of the ATM and you'd receipt, get the confusion of maybe the €20 and the receipt and throwing that. But that's really awful. But I nearly threw out my dog.
You threw out your dog?
No, I didn't. I nearly threw out my dog.
How did that happen?
Well, again, I was moving house and there was a pile of stuff and it was there, and there was another pile of stuff and there was more piles of stuff, and his dog bed is a lot bigger than him. He's only really little.
Okay.
But we thought, let's spoil him because he's got a lot of issues.
All right, okay.
He's got a lot of personality problems.
Yeah.
So I thought, let's just keep him happy with this massive bed. So I put the bed out on top of the stuff because it was in the way.
Yeah.
I put him on the top of the stuff, and we just kept piling.
On top of the dog?
Well, we just had stuff to do. We were very, very busy. Wow. And it was only at the end of the day when the truck was moving us that we went, where's Monty?
Oh, no.
And I actually was a bit like... Is he hiding because he's sad we're leaving? Is he? And he was he was having a great sleep.
But you didn't throw him out.
No, but we
nearly thrown out the dog.
Would I feel bad? Not really.
Ah, come on.
He causes me a lot of distress.
So we were thinking of those unusual things that you may have thrown out by mistake.
Yes.
Think about them now. 0871818 Text us or WhatsApp us, or you can call us at 4404100. Because Clint went through our press just up in the office, and we have a bunch of things that we nearly threw out. You can win what we nearly threw out.
You can't believe the stuff here. It is so good.
It's so bad. What's that? Is that a baseball cap? What does it say?
It's a baseball cap, but there's blood on it.
Okay, and it's from a movie. Tag. We nearly threw that out. Yeah.
There's a Supernova. Actually, not a bad old DVD. Oh,
it's a DVD.
The Oasis one, yeah.
It's an Oasis DVD.
There's a can of deodorant from Nivea.
We nearly threw that out as well. Yeah, okay, what else is there? So one person wins the lot. What else is in there?
Oh, there's Pat Courtney's bag of underwear.
Okay, that's fine. He doesn't use them anymore.
Does he need them?
No, he doesn't, and they've been washed.
There's a bag of DVDs, the Beatles.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, there's some nice stuff in that Beatles bag. Oh!
Go on.
What's that? There's a few days old pizza in a pizza box. Oh.
Yeah, so we got a delivery of a lot of pizza and we couldn't eat it all the other day at lunch.
Someone could heat it up, I suppose. It's very good when you heat up pizza.
Yeah, so that was nearly going to be thrown out as well. So you can win all of that.
A Dunkirk satchel. Oh, I could go on. There's some great stuff there. Some great loot.
It's the best of the Colm and Lucy Breakfast Show on Radio Nova.
Earlier on, we were talking about throwing people out. No. Throwing things out like you shouldn't have. Because Kathleen Watkins threw out our wedding ring. I know a bloke who threw out all his wife's clothes into a charity bag, and you nearly threw out your dog.
Well, to be fair, it wouldn't have been a huge loss.
Yeah. Well, I feel sorry for Monty now.
The DSPC are going to be texting in now. Gillian Burton, the DSPC, you know I'm joking. I love my dog.
You love Monty.
Yeah.
Okay, it's and we've had people ringing in about throwing out Darth Vaders and false teeth. And David, how are you?
I'm good, yourself?
Not too bad at all. Where are you, David?
Good morning. I'm just walking from Milltown to Cowper. I had to get out of the loo. It was absolutely packed.
Oh,
okay.
And it's so wet this morning.
But you needed to get out to share this story with the nation.
Yes.
What is it? What did you nearly throw out? What did you throw out?
It's a very funny one. So myself and my brother-in-law and a friend, we were having a few drinks in my sister's place. And my friend, he lost his eye a few years ago.
What?
So he has a fake eye. It's disgusting, to be honest.
Yeah.
But we all
God
used
love
to it.
him.
Yeah.
So every now and again, especially when he's getting really tired, this was already early hours in the morning, and the fake eye was getting a bit dry, so he just went to the toilet, wrapped it in a piece of toilet paper, and left it over the sink, and came back and kept having a few drinks with us.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, my sister woke up and just went for a quick wee, and she seen it over there, and she was like, these lads is leaving rubbish all over the place.
Oh,
so
no.
She flushed it down the toilet.
He lost his eye down the toilet.
Stop. My dad is a big handyman, so we called him at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
He needs to come over.
Is he a doctor? It's not really the same
No.
thing.
He just took off the toilet, took off everything. We just tried to check the pipes. No, it was gone.
Did your friend see the funny side?
He wouldn't stop laughing, but I think that's because he was slightly intoxicated,
Yeah.
Well, it's not that bloody funny if he had nothing.
Exactly.
What was he just eyeless for a few weeks after?
Yes, for about 2 weeks, because they had to get they are purposely made for his eyes.
Did he wear a patch?
No, not at all. His eye just gets a little bit closed.
Yeah,
and
it's just a little. And where do you go? Do you go to the eye shop, the eye store?
You're so ignorant. The eye hospital.
Yeah. There's actually a company that makes them purposely fit for them.
I like that.
David,
okay.
that's a really bless him and everything, but that's just gross.
I know. Believe me,
what if he'd eaten that? What if that was in your cornflakes?
Somewhere down the other end, somebody saw an eye, if you know what I mean. It popped out somewhere in the world. Somebody saw this eye. I don't know what that is.
I feel really weird.
Yeah. David, thanks for sharing your eye.
No worries,
your friend's eye. Yeah.
You could win some pizza.
Have a good day, man.
Thank you.
Hey, Alan, how are you?
Well, Colm, how are you doing?
It's Colm and Lucy, Rebecca.
It doesn't matter.
Rebecca, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning. Doesn't matter.
What have you got, Alan?
Well, I didn't throw anything out. Years ago, I came home from school one day. I let a goldfish called Freddy.
Yeah.
And I came home from school, he wasn't in the goldfish tank.
Right.
I said, where did he go? And my dad told me he went to heaven, goldfish heaven.
Oh, yeah. Your dad's a bad man.
Yeah.
I was very sad, his heart broke. But half an hour later, I went to go to the toilet, and there he was floating in the toilet. Forgot to flush it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So
heartbroken.
So clearly he was dead.
Yes, he was.
Oh, God, dead and thrown down the toilet.
Yeah, instead of burying him, they left him in the toilet, but
I think it's a recycling. It's a better way to do it.
I've got to say, in all the years that we had little goldfish around the house and that, I think when they went, that's what we did with them.
I did it myself since then as well.
Yeah, in fairness, yeah. I think the world's toilets have been filled with goldfish.
And
eyes
and teeth. And
well, eyes and teeth, but it's definitely goldfish, yeah.
Are you still suffering as a result? Are you all right?
No, I'm over it now, Rebecca.
Good man. We can't offer counselling, but we've got 10-day old pizza.
Yeah. All right, Alan, listen, thanks for sharing your floating goldfish.
Your floater story.
Thanks a million.
See you now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Look, your golden floaters. Okay, it's goldfish. It's a goldfish.
We always stoop.
It's the best of the Colm and Lucy Breakfast Show on Radio Nova.
And also on Thursdays, we go to the movies with our man Clint, who takes us there all the way to the movies.
Who plays the recorder in this?
He's here.
I do. This is me blowing my flute.
Okay, Rebecca's having a moment there.
Okay, well, just you and I then.
Okay. So, what movie are we talking about?
Well, we're not talking about this movie. We're talking about this movie, but I won't review this film because I was on the red carpet last night, the Lighthouse Cinema.
Right.
The stars were there of Wreck-It Ralph 2. This is the sequel to Wreck-It Ralph. Ralph breaks the internet, apparently.
Okay.
We'll talk about this when I review it later in a couple of weeks because it's not out for a couple of weeks. But John C. Reilly and Sarah Silverman were in town.
What's John C. Reilly famous for again, Clint?
Everything.
No, but what was his biggest?
Grown-ups,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was probably the big one. And all the Will Ferrell stuff he does, it's fantastic. But he's Irish. He's got Irish heritage. He was talking last night to pretty much everyone about how much he wants an Irish passport. He's willing to live here and that sort of stuff.
Okay.
And Sarah Silverman, gorgeous Sarah Silverman, they were all both there flogging the film. I got to shove my microphone in their face. And I wondered, firstly, with John C. Reilly, why people love Ralph so much.
Because he's a lovable lunkhead. I mean, he makes a lot of mistakes, but he means well, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. I mean, does everyone love Ralph? Do they? We'll find out.
I do. Ralph is my favorite. Yeah.
He's a loyal friend. He's a protective friend, especially in this one, maybe overprotective.
He's made of nothing but feelings, just like all of us.
Oh, she has the cutest voice.
No, sorry, is she taking something? What is she?
No, that's the way she talks.
Very sleepy.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It's very Kim Kardashian-esque.
I used to love the Sarah Silverman show.
Yeah.
You know, which I think it got one series and then it was booted off TV.
But she was cracking gags from the moment she stepped out on the red carpet. And this looks like a good film. If you love the first one, I think fans will like the second one. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Ralph is a computer game character who comes to life in the middle of the night and has adventures and stuff.
It's a kid's film?
It is a kid's film, but there's some very adult jokes in this one. Apparently, there's this great scene where they bring all the Disney princesses in. And I'm talking about every Disney princess that ever was around.
Yeah.
And they got the real people to do the voices for this one scene.
That's excellent.
Okay.
Everyone alive except poor Snow White, who's no longer with us.
What happened to her?
Well, she's no longer with us.
Slutty
Snow White was made in the...
The voice is no longer with us.
Yes.
Oh
my God, don't break news that Snow White is...
No, Snow White is still with us.
is with us still.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's this beautiful scene where Sarah Silverman's character meets the princesses in the film, and everyone's talking about it. And I was wondering with Sarah what it was like to be a Disney princess and have it on her CV.
On my what?
On your CV, your resume.
Oh, a CV.
Don't you call it a CV in America?
No, what does that stand for?
Curriculum vitae, you know, what you say when you're getting a job?
Oh.
You show when you get it?
That is a thing, and I just don't know it.
It's a thing here.
I did not think that. I never think anything. I've never imagined what my future might hold, ever. I really haven't. But I like it.
So far, so
Feels
good.
right. I like the way in which it has happened, where she's just this little kid, normal-looking kid in comfortable clothes. Jewish.
Oh my God.
She is fantastic.
She's jet lagged. She's super jet lagged.
Come on, that is just the nicest, sleepiest little...
I just love the fact that Sarah Silverman doesn't even know what a CV is. Like, that shows how much work she gets.
She doesn't even know what a resume. Exactly. She's never had to apply for a job in Nova. Like, we all have to... I had to pimp up my CV yesterday morning.
Yeah, can you bring it back in on Monday?
Yeah.
But it is the cutest scene. I've seen this moment in the movie where Vanellope, her character, meets every Disney princess.
What's her character's name?
Vanellope.
Oh, great name.
Best friends with Ralph. So it's out in a couple of weeks. We'll talk about it then. But
was Sarah Silverman in the first?
Yeah, they were best mates.
I haven't seen. Sorry, I haven't seen the first one. I need to watch that. Okay.
So we'll move on to a film you can see in the cinemas right now. This is called The Girl in the Spider's Web.
Now I am excited.
It's based on the fourth book in that Millennium series that we all know about. Now, this is the first novel, though, that wasn't written by the creator Steg Larsson. So Steg wrote 3 books, then carked it, and then they've written 2 more with other people.
Yeah.
It's very much in the same vein as the series, though, if you're a fan. And here's a little taste of The Girl in Spider's Web.
You're the only person for the job.
What am I looking for?
They're called the Spiders. Trafficking, torture, murder. I tracked all of your father's associates. Everything linked back to her.
You don't understand what this is.
Did I ask your advice?
Wow.
I can't wait. I just think there's such a thrilling ride.
Oh, it is. This is a good old-fashioned, on-the-edge-of-your-seat thriller.
Mm-hmm.
You're there from the start. Claire Foy, the beautiful Claire Foy, she can be crowned now the queen, I think, of Kick Butt, because she is the queen anyway.
Okay.
She's very good in this. Playing that vigilante yet again. There's this mysterious program called Firewall, which can blow up every nuclear weapon in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, of course, stolen. Her job is to get it back. And then she crosses paths with the Russians and her family, and it gets all very messy.
Yeah. The Russians.
Why are the Russians always the baddies in the movies?
Because we're Western civilization and we have an issue with socialism. Go ahead.
It's the Russians, the Chinese, or the Koreans. It's always
not.
them.
It's always the Eastern civilizations.
All the people.
No, it's not. It's to do with cold weather.
In Ireland, it's also the English as well. But go ahead.
Could be that. Okay. I really enjoy this, and I was very surprised with Claire Foy because, seeing her as the Queen and then seeing her as this, completely different characters.
But that's what acting is, Clint.
Yeah, but I wasn't impressed with her accent.
Oh.
She has to do a bit of Swedish, and there's actually a crossover with a British accent in one scene. You're like, they could have redone that.
But maybe that's what Swedish is.
No, it's not.
Okay.
You speak Swedish.
You speak Swedish.
Taki tu kaki tila.
Beg your pardon?
Thank you very much.
That was a love letter to you boys.
Oh. 4.5 stars for The Girl.
4.5 stars.
I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
That's not like you, Clint. You can be very angry.
I enjoyed this one.
So is this up with all the other ones? Because I've read the books, but I haven't seen any of the movies yet.
Don't lie about stuff that you've never read the books.
I have. I've read all the books. But should I now sit down and watch all the movies?
Yes. Oh my God, Colm, seriously, I wouldn't encourage, because usually I'm just saying things to you to keep you happy.
Yeah, I know.
You have to watch these films.
Okay, and it's released today.
It's the best of the Colm and Lucy Breakfast Show on Radio Nova.
Pat Short, good morning to you.
Good morning, Colm. How are you?
Not too bad. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
You're looking good.
Oh, sure, listen, I'm only a shadow of what I used to be.
Yeah, but the shadow is looking good.
Thank you very much.
It's a lovely shadow. So you've got the new show coming out called Hey.
Yeah, it's out at the moment. I'm touring. Of course, I'm in the Olympia in Dublin, back up here in January. So that's kind of what I'm talking about all the time. Right. But we've been touring it around the country and kind of getting it well oiled before we hit Dublin with it,
So it's not making hay while the sun shines.
No,
this is
not.
H-E-Y.
H-E-Y. Funny thing about titles of shows. People ask you about the title of a show, and does it mean anything to the show? This means nothing.
All right. Do you not think of the title first and then do the show?
That kind of works that way. And a friend of mine would ring me up and he'd go, "Hey, Shorty, how's things?"
All right,
from South Tip, and that's where it came from. So if people are, I can't really transfer that into spelling it on a poster or something. But anyway, that's...
So it's not hey exclamation mark or hey question mark. It could be any of those things, couldn't it?
It could be what you want it to be, yeah.
Yeah. And again, because there's obviously a name for every show, otherwise people don't know what to buy.
Yes, exactly. The media love it, the papers love it, the promoters love it, so what's the title? And you have to come up with something. So.
But some comedians spend so long coming up with the title because it has to be really clever, maybe to do with their name or something like that.
Yeah. I was telling someone recently, I was doing I was working in New York, the previous show called Selfie, and that's when I realised how, if you asked me the title of the new show, I hadn't even written, so I because the press needed it for a press release, so I went Selfie, Selfie. Colin said they went, geez, that's a good title because it's kind of relevant. It says selfie, everyone's taking selfies, so that's grand. So what, 8 months later, when I show was up and running, I was doing the first interview with a newspaper. They said, "What's Selfie? Is it an introspective view on Irish?" I was like, "No." Yeah. So I started making up a lot of bullshit to go on, but it had no relevance whatsoever.
So your titles are a little bit like modern art.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's whatever you see.
A bit like Gaudi's Cathedral.
I was thinking when I knew you couldn't say, because I've known you, we've spoken many times over the years, but you're a complicated sort of character as well. There's a lot of depth to you. And I'm thinking, when you were growing up, who were you listening to, comedian-wise? Who was it?
It's an interesting one because I grew up in the Thurles and Tipperary back in RT1 era.
Yeah.
So there was no multi-channel. Some places had it. My dad wasn't a big man for TV. So I think my influences were Paul's Florida Weekly, actually.
Yes.
Frank Hall, Frank Kelly, Amy Morrissey.
Right.
And I suppose Neil Tobin was a huge influence to me. I just loved the way he'd tell a story, character, accents, the way he talked. He was just brilliant, And then Billy Connolly, I suppose, was probably the first comedian outside I was opened up to. And then came the young ones and all that era, and Ben Elton, and that was kind of...
That's when they gave BBC down the country.
Yeah. I think I was in college at that stage when that...
Well, that's a perfect time for the young ones, isn't it?
Yeah, and all that, and that kind of angry kind of comedy that was around in the 80s with Ben Elton, and it was kind of social comedy, social commentary kind of stuff and everything else. I remember I liked the young ones because they were daft and silly. I wasn't terribly into the social commentary stuff because it was just a bit too aggressive and angry.
But I think again and it was called alternative comedy in those days. Now it is the mainstream comedy, but it was a case of you weren't doing a joke that went start, finish, punchline. It was much more, as you said, commentary and everything, which is what you do with your characters now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, although I would have been a big fan of Dave Allen as well, and I was lucky enough to work with him in London years back. He was a big fan of Unbelievers, and he used to come to see us in London all the time, and he had a connection with Limerick as well. So he used to come and see myself and John, and then we ended up doing a show with him in the Café Royal in London.
Oh, wow.
Which was fantastic.
What was he like?
He was just an amazing man. He was a lovely guy to sit down and chat to and have the crack with, but a genius. And when you say stand-up comedy, like, he was the original. He was the guy who really kind of started.
Did he always have a glass of whiskey in his hand?
No.
It's amazing.
I know.
Every time it's just the whiskey.
The whiskey and the cigarette going all the time.
It's brilliant.
When we knew him, I don't know, did he even drink? I mean, maybe he did. But
I'm sure in those days they probably did. Because I remember looking back at episodes of Parkinson, and sometimes you can't see his guests for all the smoke.
The smoke was mad.
Especially when Morecambe and Wise came on. Eric Morecambe had the pipe going.
Yeah. I remember seeing Bono light up a cigarette on the Late Late Show, and it was the only person I ever saw on the Late Late Show light a cigarette. And it harked back to that era of all Parkinson and all that.
Yeah, just go for it. Bono was just kicking over.
Oh,
symbolism of that, breaking the 30. We'll smoke Silk.
He was a bit slow. He was behind it.
Yeah. I'll smoke Silk, but the Silk light. Save the voice. Who are you watching now? Do you watch comedians now?
I do. I watch varied kind of stuff now, I suppose. I don't know. I mean, I kind of watch stuff. I like Sharon Horgan. I think is amazing.
She's very good.
She's amazing. Her stuff is really, really good. And
saw her in the movie actually recently, the American movie Date Night.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah,
it's really good. Actually, it's well worth seeing, and she plays a great character. I think she wrote part of it as well. But she's a great character.
She's incredible. She really, really is a great talent. And I kind of watch that kind of humour, stuff like that, and, as opposed to comedians as such. I mean, I'm always a big fan of Dylan Moore. I just think he's probably one of the best out there. Tommy Tierna's a great comedian as well. I was watching some of his stuff recently.
Yeah.
So we've got great comedy in Ireland. We really
do.
We do.
Dylan Moore, I love it. Like Black Books was just stunning, and his stand-up and everything. One of the more difficult people to interview.
I know he is. I obviously you've been there.
I have been there, and I interviewed him, and he was on the phone, and he was all over. And I said to him once, "Are you doing the dishes, Dylan?" And he was doing his dishes. He had his phone, and he went, "Well, nobody else is going to do them." And I go, "Is this the best time to do them?" Yes.
His interviews are the weirdest. And I did a film with him, and he's like, to sit down and have a chat with him. He's a great guy and go for a pint, and he's a brilliant guy, amazing comedian, but I would dread to interview him.
I know. That's why we keep calling you back now. So tell us about the show. Hey, it starts, as you said, it's in the Olympia.
Yeah, I suppose, God, I'm desperate at talking about my own shows. I should be selling it a bit better. I get James will come in here from the Olympia and he'll back me.
Yeah, we thought you were going to sell tickets, yeah.
Okay. But I suppose, people would know me for interactive comedy and for getting into the audience and this stuff. This show is no different. The hook on this show is based around the Tipperary Tulip, which is a beauty pageant. And
you're joking with me.
Yeah, no.
It's not real, is it? Did you make that up? This year's Tipperary Tulip.
She's plucked from the audience.
Yeah.
And the show is kind of, that's the hook. It's based around
but
that.
She's in competition with the Dingle Dandelion.
The Buchalon, yeah. The Boris Nasri Buchalon. So it's great. It's you got to come and see it.
But it's you. It's like if you're a fan of Pat Short's, you deliver all the time. Your characterization is absolutely amazing. I think that's what makes you a great actor as well.
Well, look, I
can get into people's minds and brains.
I think you need to hit people with a characteristic that they can identify with.
Yeah.
And that's what I do with my characters from true observation of them. So that's what I do.
Do you sit just staring at people?
It's very hard on radio to get it across because it's very physical and visual. You know what I mean? So that's probably why I find a bit of a stump.
But I'm often wondering, do you just sit and stare at people like if you're on a train journey or you're walking, or do you overhear people's conversations? Because that's that Pat Short. I'll be one of his characters.
I know people say that to me all the time. You must be, I won't say that in front of him or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't do that. And when you do a character, I don't think any character I've ever done is one person. It's an amalgamation of people and things I've seen, heard, and memories I've had since I was a kid.
Right.
Of characters and situations.
So you bring them all together.
You bring them together and it turns into a character,
So somebody might identify them. I'm the leg.
Yes. Well, so many people, I remember, people would identify the walk, the character, way I hold myself, the physical aspect of it as well, and that's what makes the character.
So the show Hey is out on sale at the moment. So it's in the Olympic Theatre from Thursday 10th to Saturday 12th of January, and tickets are on sale at the moment. And everyone should go there. Pat Short presents Hey.
Great Christmas present, Colm. Great Christmas.
Of course it is.
Fill the stocking with it.
Of course it is. Stay with us for a moment.
It's the best of the Colm and Lucy Breakfast Show on Radio Nova.
Right, Pat Short is back with us, and what we like to do is when we have a guest in, we have the last 5 questions. And I never show the guest what they are beforehand.
Yeah.
They're the same to every guest.
Okay.
So it's all about something you did, the last thing you did. So are you ready for this?
Yeah, you're dreading it.
You're like, well, they're not that bad. Last 5 questions. What's the last movie you watched, Pat Short?
Oh my God, I've dreadful memory. Oh my God, what was the last film I watched? I only watched it the other night. God, I've no idea.
Yeah, see, this is the part where we find out whose memories are worse than others. This is it. We then send this off to your GP, and he goes, "Okay, we need to up the medication on the short fella."
I watched it, but this is the problem with Netflix. I watched the world of crap.
I know,
and you don't really nothing sits.
I started Narcos, like the new series, Narcos Mexico.
Yeah, I saw the second episode of it,
and I just finished, which is an amazing series, Atypical, which is about the autistic kid. It's like a sitcom drama, but it's written from the viewpoint of this autistic kid who's coming of age and wants to have a girlfriend and a job. And it's absolutely brilliant.
You're very deep, aren't you?
Oh, jeez, yeah. Don't get me started. Okay, here's another one. Here we go. Number 4. That was number 5, which we'll put Narcos down. Number 4, last takeaway you had.
Last takeaway I had was a pizza the other night with the guys on the crew after we did the loadout at a gig in Arklow.
Right.
We ordered a 5-star pizza.
So is that your big takeaway?
That was pizza's really is my thing. It came with a little table in it, a little plastic.
Oh, the little thing to keep.
Yeah, you put your sauce on. That's what the lads told me anyway.
Is that what you? I don't know.
No, it's not. I thought it's a wobbly little table.
Don't sit in it. What time did you go to bed at last night?
Oh God, I have no memory of it.
You've no memory of last night? Doctor, more education.
It's my daughter's fault. I was out with her in Dublin.
Were you? Yeah. Well, that's okay.
She's a student in Dublin, so we went out for a bite to eat and then went off for a few pints, and the rest is...
There you go. Okay, we'll say 1:15.
Yeah. Just after the hour.
Just 1:15. Last time you wore a hat?
Last time I wore a hat was at the weekend. I wear a hat every week, like when I go out and feed the dogs.
I wear a hat every weekend? When you go out and
feed the dogs.
So you have a special...
woolly cap. Yeah, a woolly cap with a flashlight on it at night time to wear.
Really?
Yeah.
So they know, here he comes. Yeah. Here's the food. It's the flasher.
I do have a luminous hat. I don't know why.
Yeah. Wow.
See me coming.
Okay, and then you just put it aside. You don't wear it generally.
No, I don't wear it.
Okay.
No.
Okay. And your last question then. The last time you cried?
Probably last night.
You're out with the daughter, yeah.
And this morning when I got up, why?
Yeah, I know, we do, I do. But it's okay, because it's with your daughter.
Yeah.
All right, just to say, Hey is on sale now. It's in the Olympic Theatre, Thursday 10th to Saturday 12th of January. Pat Short, always a pleasure.
Thanks, Colm.
Cheers, man. Thanks very much.
It's the best of the Colm and Lucy Breakfast Show on Radio Nova.
That's it from the Colm and Lucy podcast. We'll have another podcast up next week. And remember, you can join us live on the radio. Radio Nova, Monday to Friday, 6 to 10.
The Colm and Lucy podcast. Seriously addictive podcasting.
From Nova.ie and Radio Nova.